What is up, my Lorcana Goons? Welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. My name is Kevin and we just made top 16 at the Lorcana Challenge in Atlanta, the first Disney Lorcana Challenge ever. We got this beautiful foil Rapunzel mat for our top 16. We also got this Let It Go promo. We had the Cindy promo foil, but we got rid of it real quick. And then we also have this Rapunzel foil promo, which is just beautiful. And we're gonna just go over the deck that I played. I want to just talk about a little bit for any old Yu-Gi-Oh players or card game players. We're gonna take this old school. I'm just gonna go over the 60 card deck. I played Ruby Amethyst. Nothing too special. I'm not gonna go into too much detail with some of the stuff. For Olaf, you play Olaf instead of Mini because you don't need to reveal extra colors to the opponent for no reason. You play way more purple cards than red cards in this deck. So playing Mini is just letting your opponent know you're playing red on turn 1 for no reason. In a meta where people are definitely playing a variety of purple cards and purple decks. So no Mini Olaf is better for Rafiki because it's basically Captain Hook for purple and it's way better. And we need stuff for aggro. We have 2 Teeth and Ambitions. Shout out Kendall Burdett. No, I'm not. He's the reason why I'm playing 2 Teeth and Ambitions. I just follow him on Twitter and he definitely knows what he's doing with Ruby Amethyst. And the amount of Emerald in the meta was kind of crazy. And I only played against like 2 Emerald decks the whole weekend, but this came in clutch against Amber Steel. It came in really clutch against a random red-blue deck that this guy was getting really greedy with his Scar, and he left it on the board with 3 damage, and I was able to like capitalize on that with Teeth, so that was cool. 2 Pinocchio. This deck only plays 13 Uninkables because I really hate bricking on Uninkables. For a long time I was only playing 1 Pinocchio because I hate drawing 2 Pinocchio, but you just need 2 Pinocchio, and I only drew 2 Pinocchio and bricked on it 1 time throughout the whole weekend. It's guaranteed to happen in the tournament, but I'm really glad it happened in against an opponent who honestly, like, I just had the advantage because you know, they didn't really know what they were doing like that with their deck. 3 Cusco, I don't think you need 4, I think 3 is the perfect number. That gets clunky, you don't need too many. It's a really weak body, it's good, but like it's not good against Emerald, so 4 Snake because it's Snake, 4 Friends on the other side. I think you just need 4. Half the time you're inking this card, but like you want to sing it, and it's just good. It's good value, obviously. You always want to see it. 3 Crab, 3 is good. 4 is too many, I think, right now because we're playing some other cards in here. 4 Maleficent because we like drawing cards. 4 Snake because we like, oh sorry, this is Fox. 4 Fox because we like bouncing cards. And then we also have 3 Minnie Mouse Surfer. Minnie Mouse Surfer coming back into the meta, super important right now in the mirror matches. It gives you a way to speed up the game against stuff like Ruby Sapphire, which they have so much burst, so you want to be able to put pressure on them on starting on turn 3. And like I was telling a lot of people, like when they play this deck, most of the time when you play Minnie Mouse Surfer, you don't even want to sing Friends on the other side with this card. You want to just gain the lore as much as possible, especially in the mirror match, because they're gonna drop Medusa on it on turn 6, and if they don't drop Medusa on it on turn 6, then you're probably gonna win that game. So usually what I'll do is if I have Friends and this card, on turn 4 I'll usually try and play a rabbit, so like turn 5 I can sing with the rabbit, bounce back the rabbit with Snake, play the play another card or something. But yeah, Minnie Mouse Surfer just gets you the lore. It's really crazy. I think 3 is fine because we're playing the Fish Hook. This card, MVP of the weekend. I disrespected every mirror match that I played because they were in the beginning of the format of this format. Everybody was on Minnie Mouse Surfer because chapter 2 Minnie Mouse was mandatory, and then we started playing locations and Maui's Fish Hook, and then people cycled out the Minnie Mouse Surfer. And now that it's come back into play, I have no idea why people are not playing this card. Like it's just crazy. Like all my mirror matches were free because of this card. It's kind of funny. And then against Steel, you just ink it, so you don't really need it against the Steel decks. 4 Rabbit, it's the best card in the game. The best card in Lorcana, easily Rabbit. Merlin Goat, second best card in Lorcana. 3 Queen's Castle, I don't think you need 4. 4 is too clunky, 3 gets the job done. You just gotta know when to play it. You rarely play this card on turn 4. This card's a bait. This card's cost is like 6, 7, or 8. It's never 4, it's barely 5 sometimes. 4 Maui, because Maui's just gasoline. He's the hero to all, and he should be a legendary. Probably the best Ruby card ever. We got 2 Tremaine and only 2 Medusa. I don't think you need more than that, especially with the uninkable count. I just don't like bricking on uninkables, and half the time you're bouncing these ladies with snakes and foxes anyways. And then only 3 Be Prepared. This is the worst card in Lorcana. It's never in your hand when you need it, and it's always in your hand when you don't want it. So I didn't want 4 in the weekend, and at my top 16 match, game 2, I bricked on it. I had 2 like after like turn 2 in my hand, and I had to skip an ink, and it's just, you know, worst card in the deck. But yeah, that was the deck profile for Ruby Amethyst. Probably my favorite deck from set 3. I don't know where it's going to be in set 4. Overall, my opinion on the Lorcana Challenge, even though I did like well in top 16, I don't know how I feel about the 2-game format. I didn't lose a single like match. Like I never got 2-0'd. And I 2-0'd a decent amount of people, but at the end of the day, like I feel like the 3-game format is just a little better. Being able to finish matches is probably a little nicer too. But yeah, other than that, it was a really good weekend. The person I lost to got first place actually. He was playing Amber Amethyst aggro with like Mufasas and stuff basically. And I'm sure you guys have seen that deck list already by now. But yeah, that's the deck. And if anything, I'll probably go a little bit more into detail separately about my experience with the Lorcana Challenge.
You already know who it is, baby. Steadfast here. Stay tuned to Lorcana Goons.
What is up, my Lorcana Goons? Welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. My name is Kevin. If you're watching this, thank you for supporting the Lorcana Goons channel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. So that was the deck list we played for the DLC Atlanta, the first Lorcana challenge, and we made top 16. All reliable Ruby Amethyst. I hope you guys enjoyed that portion of the video. Now I just want to talk a little bit about the experience overall and like my mentality when it comes to playing card games, playing tournaments, and the future of Lorcana. We were able to make it in top 16, losing in top 16 our match to the person who got first place, Josh Repultre. So shout out everyone who played that tournament. It was awesome. I do want to talk about my experience, talk a little bit about the overall tournament, more into detail, other than just the market watch video that we did, and obviously talk about the amount of pricing we walked away with that day. It was actually pretty insane. As you can see here, I have the top 32 Rapunzel enchanted foil. There we go, check that out. Look how nice. Look how nice the foiling on this is. Wow, I haven't taken it out of the top loader they gave me. This is the top loader they gave me out of the envelope that I got from that victory after I lost. And then this is the Let It Go. This is the Let It Go promo that you got for top 148. So I was given this Let It Go promo. I was given the Rapunzel promo. I was also given a Cinderella promo for making it into the top 64. But I got rid of that one the day of the event. And I'll be honest with you guys, I got rid of it for a decent amount of change. Around $2,700 is what I walked away with, which not only obviously paid for my trip to Atlanta, Georgia, but was able to buy me a nice dinner at the end of it too, you know? And coming from playing other card games, I think this was probably one of the better experiences I've had in a tournament of this capacity. Not only because of the community, but obviously because of the ability to you know, find collectors for these cards as well, because they are not one of a kind, but they are very unique. We also got this top 16 mat. Check this out. It's a foil mat. It's actually beautiful. Not sure if you can see the foiling on it. Definitely unique mat. This I love. This I'm in love with. I'm probably gonna frame that. You know, and I'm sure you guys have seen some of the listing prices for some of these items on eBay, TCG Player, and although a lot of these cards are listed at really high pricings, I do want to mention that, you know, somebody does have to buy them for these prices. And, you know, I haven't had an easy time trying to get rid of the Rapunzel, you know what I'm saying? So I do believe, obviously, that as more challenges happen during the summertime, you know, we're going to see more of these prize cards come into circulation. So obviously the pricing is going to be a little bit more available. It's going to differ in pricing, but either way, awesome event, awesome pricing. But there were some players who were able to get rid of their collectible cards immediately that day of, some walking away with definitely a good chunk of change. So that is why I strongly feel like the title of this video is not clickbait. We did walk away with some heavy pricing from this event for getting top 16 in this 9-round of Swiss tournament. It was a 2-game format. So if you didn't know, for these Lorcana Challenge events, you're only playing 2 games, not best of 3. You're only playing 2 games. And as you just saw, we accomplished this playing Ruby Amethyst. Yes, the old reliable is what I call the deck. Ruby Amethyst being my favorite deck of the format, being the deck that I probably understand the most in general how to play. That was the deck that carried me all the way to top 16, and I would even go as far as to say would have carried me on to the finals if I would have not ended up in that same bracket as Joshua, because he was playing a yellow-purple deck, which is notoriously hard to beat with something like Ruby Amethyst. But overall, the deck did what it needed to do. I do want to talk about my mindset going into this tournament, because I don't feel like I'm like a professional card game player or anything like that. I don't know if I'm necessarily the person to offer coaching advice and whatnot, but I have been playing card games for a long time, and I do have a decent amount of tournament experience, whether it be local tournaments of players with 100, 200 people, or even regional events with more than 1,000 people, like this Lorcana Challenge event. Playing other card games in the past, I was super invested in them, especially when I was in high school, early college and whatnot, because had a lot more time to play. However, I never really went out of my way to buy a plane ticket, travel to a different state to play these like high caliber regional size events. I have played regional events in California, Las Vegas, Arizona for other card games, and usually it's places I can drive to. So flying out to Atlanta, Georgia to play the first Disney Lorcana Challenge event was honestly something I was able to check off my bucket list. Traveling for an event for a game that I love, that I'm truly passionate about, is something that I've always wanted to do. And back in the day, you know, when I was in college, in school, I was counting my pennies, you know, I was living paycheck to paycheck. So it was a lot harder for me to be able to travel to these events. And quite frankly, the pricing that you were getting in these Yu-Gi-Oh events was nowhere near worth it, especially not when you can pay for a trip by, you know, getting top cut in one of these events, right? But even with that being said, I went to so many Yu-Gi-Oh events, and I had gotten my invite to nationals for Yu-Gi-Oh many times in the past, right? But for whatever reason, top 8 is the thing you want in a Yu-Gi-Oh regional, and I have never done that at a Yu-Gi-Oh regional. I've ended up 9th place, 10th place out of 10 rounds of Swiss. You know, I've never been able to necessarily get over that top 8 hill. And then you have other Premier League events where you play 2 days the same way you played in the Disney Lorcana Challenge event, and you need to have a certain record by the end of the Swiss rounds and make the top 64 or top 32 cut. And same thing, I have lost on the bubble at these events so many times, never making it into the top cut, never making it into top 32, having 0 tops is what it was called basically. And in some communities, for either gaming in general, you know, when you're not necessarily the best, but you're decent, you kind of get put in this position of you're not respected by your peers if you don't have the same amount of tops and wins as them, but you're also viewed as a decent player from people who want to know how to play the game a little bit better. And one thing for sure that I'm noticing in Lorcana is that we do not have that. There's no gatekeeping energy I've noticed in this community. So if you're playing the game, sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not, but either way, like, people respect each other's ability to play the game and or to teach someone to play the game, right? But point is that this whole not having any tops thing, not, you know, getting over that hill of bubbling events was such a big deal to me. And I'm sure if you're a competitive card game player, you've been in a similar position where you feel like you just can't get over that hill. But for sure, one of the things that I've always told myself is to never stop, to never give up, right? Sometimes I meet players at our local game store, people who come to our tournaments, who were even talking about how they were never gonna win an enchanted promo stitch from set championships because it was too competitive. And to that I say, with that mentality, you're probably not gonna win an enchanted stitch, right? Because you should have the mentality of, I can win this and I will win this. And that's if you want to be that competitive player. So if you want to be a casual player, that is perfectly fine too. I love that in TCG communities there is space for both. But coming from the perspective of someone who grew up as a competitive player, somebody who wants to do well at events, when I go into these tournaments, I have never once told myself, I want a top 64, I want a day 2. I always tell myself I want first place. I think that's a very important mentality to have, because the moment I saw these prize cards announced, the moment I saw the golden BLT Mickey announced, I told myself, and I told my brother, and I told my friends, and I told all the Lorcana goons, I want to win not only this Mickey, but I want to be a Lorcana champion. And I think that's a very important thing that I want to carry with myself when making this video, or at least in general. Like, when I look back, I want to look back in this video and remind myself that I do want to be a Lorcana champion, and, you know, I want to get first place, and I'm going to keep playing these Lorcana challenge events because top 16 is not enough for me. And if you feel like you also want to be up there in this game and play it to that caliber, play it to that competitive level, start telling yourself that. Be hungry. Start telling yourself that top 4, top 8 is not enough. Be a champion, be first place. Have that first place mentality. But also, you know, be humble about it. Teach the people around you how to play the game, you know? Walk around with pride in your community, in your locals, you know? So many people came up to me and Zach during that Lorcana Challenge event just to say they watch our videos, and I genuinely feel like that energy that was given to me helped me do so much better in the tournament. The amount of confidence like I just got from, you know, either people at my locals, people from Southern California that I would run into in between rounds and be like, how you doing? I'm 4-0, heck yeah, me too, you know, stuff like that. That energy just helps me so much play the game and be a part of this community. So that's another thing I want to mention for sure. If you're playing these tournaments and it's your first time playing a competitive card game, or even, you know, your third, fourth, or fifth competitive card game that you're playing, make sure you surround yourself with that positive energy. And it sounds really corny, right? The positive energy, the positive vibes. But I do strongly feel like you need to surround yourself with people that are gonna uplift you. People that are genuinely going to look at you as competition for that event, but respect you in that way and want to grow with you and also want to see you grow. So big shout out to all the Lorcana Goons who came up to us at the DLC. I really appreciate you guys. There's so many people I can name, but if you ran into me and you said hi, just know that I greatly appreciate it. And if you ran into me after I lost my top 16 match, yes, I was a little sad, so I'm sorry, but I'm over it, so now I'm a lot happy. But thank you everybody for coming up to us. It means the world to us. Now, actually playing the tournament is an entirely different experience. So if you're not used to playing long tournaments, I highly recommend you start going to locals, your local game store, start playing their tournaments. Find any weekend bigger tournaments, 1Ks, 2Ks, tournaments that are gonna have more than 5 rounds. For sure, you want to play in those tournaments to prepare for a Disney Lorcana challenge. Playing 9 rounds of Swiss is something that is not easy. After our 3rd round, we had a lunch break, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And when I came back from my lunch break, I felt so slumped. I felt sleepy. And I misplayed that round. And I went 1-1. I probably could have 2-0'd my opponent. So right after that, I just did like a couple push-ups, went to buy an energy drink, came back down and started playing like my mind was different, right? And by rounds 8 and 9, I could tell that my opponents were definitely tired. A lot of us were tired. We're exhausted. We're playing a card game for 6 to 7 hours, you know? So being able to have that stamina in a tournament is really important because you will for sure misplay if you're tired. I was playing my round 8. I needed one more 2-0 to lock myself into top cut. I was up game 1, game 2. I'm in such a great position and I literally just have to clear my opponent's McDuck Manor and play Be Prepared. I draw a card. I don't know what happens to my brain. My brain skips a beat. I just, you know, I don't know what happens. I quest with my characters, I Be Prepared, I forget to clear the McDuck Manor. A top decking battle ensues and this dude is about to get to 16 lore when I'm at 18 lore and I can't find my goats and I am just in a position where I'm telling myself I just fumbled my ability to get into top cut because I was just tired because I just forgot that the McDuck Manor was there. But Ruby Amethyst be doing Ruby Amethyst things. Sometimes lucky, sometimes unlucky. I misplayed really hard that match and I could have potentially lost my ability to get into top cut had I not misplayed. So be prepared, pun intended, to be in a tournament setting for that long. If you are going to be playing a Disney Lorcana challenge event, you know, start working on your stamina. Secondly, I want to talk about going first versus going second. It's a 2-game format. I went first game 1 every single match in Swiss because I either won the die roll and I chose to go first game 1 or my opponent won the die roll and they had me go first game 1. And I thought that was really strange and I thought that helped me win a lot more of my matches than it should have. So I know there's this information about the tiebreaker going better for the person who wins the second game, right? So because of that information, I think a lot of players were spooked into trying to get like better tiebreakers and they opted to go second game 1 instead. And you guys can share your opinions in the comments below, but no matter what deck you're playing, no matter what matchup you're playing against, going in game 1, neither of you know what deck you're playing against. Neither of you know your color pairing. Neither of you have any of that information. So both of you are always gonna have to mulligan blind. With that being said, Lorcana is a game that is designed around its tempo, which unfortunately means going first puts you at an advantage no matter what. That advantage is sometimes so drastic that it almost doesn't matter what your matchup is. As long as you do what your deck is supposed to do, you're more than likely going to be able to win going first if you play your cards correctly and if you obviously don't brick. That's how I've always looked at the game. I've always felt like going first has a huge advantage and a lot of people can agree with that, right? Because we understand that the die roll is very important sometimes, or that's kind of the reason why I think they even wanted to go with this 2-game format, because if you happen to win the die roll, then you go first twice out of those 3 games. Now that's not to say that you can't win going second, because clearly I won plenty of my matches going second. So with that being said, winning is a lot harder to do going second in Lorcana. So the way I look at it and the way a lot of people looked at it was, why wouldn't I want to maximize my ability to win going second by knowing what color or what deck I'm playing against, by maximizing my ability to mulligan into the cards that I need against that matchup. I'm gonna maximize the ability to play on the draw as opposed to not having that information when I'm going second. If you choose to go second in your first game, you're giving yourself a double disadvantage. You don't know what your opponent's playing, and you're giving yourself a going second disadvantage. So you can't even mulligan correctly for that going second disadvantage. And I've seen a lot of people argue saying, my deck is this, so I should always go second going first. And if you want to stick to that opinion, that's fine. This is my opinion. This is how I played that tournament, and I don't regret it one bit. I'm gonna do the same strategy in Texas because I'm gonna go to Fort Worth, the Lorcana Challenge in Fort Worth. And honestly, I'm hoping more players let me go first game one. So that's a little bit of advice that I want to offer as well. There's a lot of talk about what you should and shouldn't do, but honestly, go with your gut. So many people were saying you can't play a deck like Ruby Amethyst in a 2-game format because it's not greedy enough. You have to play something like Whole New World or Emerald Steel Discard, or you can't play Red Blue because so many conversations and arguments about what you can and can't do just flew out the window for me, and I went with what I felt confident with, which was Ruby Amethyst, which I think is a deck that has a 50-50 win rate, going first, going second, and if I can make all the correct decisions during that tournament, then more than likely my opponent will not make all the correct decisions, and I can try and take advantage of that, and that's what ended up happening. Same thing with the way you build your deck list. I saw a lot of people playing spicy techs because they just wanted to try and win going second by drawing, high rolling into some like spicy cards, and when looking at my deck list, which we saw in the beginning of this video, my deck list was pretty standard. I told myself that I want the most consistent deck for top cut. The moment I heard that I was gonna go to this tournament, I started thinking about my deck list, and I kept telling myself, I don't want a deck list for 2-game format of Swiss. I want the best deck list I could have for top cut because I want to win. And that goes back to having that mentality of wanting to be a champion, not just settling for your top cut pricing. I want to win. I want to be first place. That's, there's nothing wrong with that. And when I got to top cut, I was super satisfied with my deck list on top of that because I played into a mirror match, which is really important. I played against a blue steel, which was extremely important because I had stuff for those matchups. And then I got paired into the yellow purple, which was just completely out of my radar, and I was not prepared for that at all. And even when I did think I had it, I Medusa'd his Mufasa, and another Mufasa came off of that Mufasa. And that's when I knew this tournament was not meant for me to win. And that's the thing about card games. At the end of the day, luck is involved. I cannot say that I made it that far into the tournament off of skill alone. I just finished saying how I misplayed super fat my round 8. I potentially could have lost that game had I not been as lucky to find the goats when I did, because I could have been super unlucky and the goats could have been at the very bottom of my deck, right? And luck is a factor. My matchups, I only paired into 2 Emerald that entire tournament of Swiss. That is my worst matchup during Swiss, Emerald Steel, right? So ironically enough, I get paired into a super bad matchup in Top Cut, but not pairing into that matchup was lucky for me, but I had to take advantage of that luck. A lot of times we're playing these card games and we lose and it just feels like it's out of our control. But like whenever that happens to you, just remember that in the future, you're gonna have games where you win and it's out of your opponent's control and you have to capitalize on that stuff. There's times in that tournament where I had really bad mulligans and it wasn't even like my fault. I felt like I mulliganed very properly, but I just drew really awkwardly. But I kept telling myself my opponent also has the chance of drawing as awkwardly, you know? There was plenty of times in the tournament where my opponent would just like show me that his hand was really terrible without showing me. Like sometimes they would just be like, oh, I can't believe this. Yeah, you have everything. You could tell that they were distraught during the match, and all that's telling me is I can win this game. I can 2-0 this person because they're telling me they don't have good cards and my hand may not be the best, but as long as I can keep this pressure, keep this momentum, then I might be able to win this match. And I ended up getting enough 2-0s to secure that. There's also like superstition. I want to mention that when it comes to card games and tournament play, you know, oftentimes we shuffle our decks a type of way. I power and pile shuffle my deck, you know, so I stack cards in a pile before, you know, each game, and I scoop them up and I shuffle again and then I give it to my opponent. That's my routine. You know, I stick to that routine. And throughout the entire tournament, not a single opponent had an issue with that up until top 64. It wasn't even my opponent that had an issue. After we finished our game 1, I'm going into game 2, I start pile shuffling my deck and the judge watching tells me,
hey, you can't power shuffle your deck. And I was like, oh really? Not even if my opponent is okay with it? And they were like, no, technically it's a waste of time and it's something. So I picked up my cards and I kept, riffle shuffling my deck. And I feel like the amount of times I had to do that to feel comfortable with my deck being randomized took longer than power shuffling my deck. I don't know. But one piece of advice that I've heard from a former Yu-Gi-Oh champion was, if superstition is important to you, if that helps you play a game better, then stick to it. Don't let somebody tell you that you can't or shouldn't or do this, unless you're just blatantly cheating, obviously. After round 3, we were walking up the stairs and somebody handed me this like advertisement for a tournament and I put it in my pocket. I wasn't thinking much about it, but I started 2-0ing my opponents after that. I 2-0 3 people in a row. And then somewhere along the line, I find this in my pocket, I take it out, and I'm like, why is this trash in my pocket? And I'm about to throw it away, and instead of throwing it away, I put it back in my pocket. Now, does that mean anything? No, it doesn't have to, but I'm gonna tell you what, I still keep this piece of paper in my deck box. and superstition, if that is important to you, then by all means, that helps you play better. If that makes you feel comfortable when you're playing your game, then stick to it. Shout out to all my opponents that day. Thank you for not complaining about my power shuffling. I don't think I took longer than anyone else in terms of like playing the game. That's another thing too. I think there was 40-minute rounds if I'm not mistaken, and 70-minute rounds in Top Cut. I didn't use the entire time, not even once. I didn't go into time a single time. There were situations where we were going down to the wire and there's maybe 3 minutes left, but I never went into time. I personally hate going into time in any card game, in any tournament. I don't think it should happen. I don't think it's necessary. I think if you have a problem with going into time and getting draws consistently, then you probably got to look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I taking too long? And taking long is something you don't want to do in card games. It does not benefit you at all. Worry about how much time both of you are taking when deciding what to play on turn 1. I play a lot of online simulators, played a lot of Pixelborn, and then I didn't go to locals that often just because it's not like as accessible to me, but I do feel like that helps a lot with that fatigue like I was talking about, because playing in those set championships helped me so much with the tournament atmosphere that I wasn't necessarily used to in Lorcana, but I was used to in other games, so bringing it into Lorcana was a different experience. And card games are like my life, dude. Like, I don't play other games. I don't play Fortnite. I don't have a PlayStation 5. I don't have a console. I don't play League of Legends on my computer. I have a PC set up literally for Lorcana, for videos, for market watch stuff, for streaming Pixelborn. I don't have any games on it. I have 0 games on my phone, I don't really do other things other than play card games and hang out with my girlfriend and, like do nerd stuff. So like my priorities have always been to try and like win a championship, at least since I've been playing card games again, Some people ask, how'd you make it happen? Whether it be the YouTube channel, the Lorcana Goons team, or even, this Top Cut that we made, And I think a lot of it is the fact that my priorities are this game, is card games in general, and it means a lot to me. It's a passion. And I think if you want it, if that's what you want your life to be, then you have to surround yourself around it. Make some new friends, expand your ability to communicate with people, to enter friend groups, and to give people information, and also be willing to receive information from these friend groups. Card games have literally changed my life. My best friends come from card games. Even though we did lose the Golden Mickey match, it could have been it's a little $10,000 match, $20,000 extra match that we lost right there, not winning the Golden Mickey. It's not the end. There's plenty of other challenges happening, which means there's plenty of other Golden Mickeys and opportunities to win them. So be sure to look out for us at Fort Worth. We're probably going to go to Seattle, Vegas. You look out for the Lorcana Goons shirts. The Team Goons is going to be out there. Also, a huge shout out to everyone that tested with us, the people we stayed with, Quest Kids, Zach, Steadfast, everybody involved, Impact TCG, the people that surround us in this card game are just super competitive. We all want to see each other win and succeed. So we were literally playtesting Thursday night, Friday night, and you'll see it at the end of this video. I'll add those vlog clips. To us, this game is a passion. To us, we use this to solve beef amongst our crew members. We use this to figure out who's gonna sleep in what bed in the Airbnb. It's a non-stop commitment to the top, in my opinion. So hopefully you will see you there. Sometimes I think I'm a little bit lucky because I'm born without this camera shy situation that a lot of people seem to go through. A lot of people, they're afraid of being in front of the camera. They feel the pressure when they're playing the high stakes at the tournament. And I feel the pressure too, but it goes away the more you practice. And, I was super nervous during my last few rounds of Swiss. And then out of nowhere, I just got locked in. I hit that flow energy where you just, your body escapes your mind and you're just kind of playing playing on like an intense autopilot, and that was happening to me in my top 64 and my top 32, and it was like an out-of-body experience playing in such a high-stakes situation. But the nerves were there, and you know, the anxiety was there. You know, I am an anxious person. You know, I was literally jumping around doing breathing exercise while shuffling my deck in top 64. I had headphones in my ear and I'm singing, you know, Kendrick Lamar, "They Not Like Us, They Not Like Us," right before my top 64 match, because I'm terrified of me drawing bad, or I'm just super nervous, right? But I kept telling myself, I can get first place, I can win this, I know what I'm doing, I know how to play this game. And I'm gonna keep telling myself that in every tournament we play in the future. And I think that's what you should tell yourself too, because we should all have this champion mentality. We're all playing the same game, right? There's no reason why you cannot get first place at a Disney Lorcana Challenge event. So I really recommend you guys going. Even if you guys don't have the actual event badge to play in the main event, play some side events. Those side events, Cinderellas and Rapunzels, and the Cinderella mat were selling for some hefty change as well. So I think it might be worth it. And maybe that might be your start to playing the main event. Play a bunch of side events, get used to the tournament setting, you know, see what you can do with your spicy deck list cooking, or even, you know, play a super consistent deck so you can practice for the main event that you might be going to in the future. And even though we did do well in this tournament, I probably would prefer still a best of 3 format rather than a 2-game format, because in a 2-game format, getting 2-0'd just puts you at a huge disadvantage. So I kept telling myself all day throughout the day 1, don't get 2-0'd. Don't get 2-0'd. Don't let anybody 2-0 you. So if I ever lost game 1, I was super focused and locked in on not making any misplays so I could at least win the game 2. And that felt like not a complete loss. So one of the ways we were able to make it to top cut was by getting just draws and never getting 2-0'd. So if I could offer any bit of advice, is for sure don't let anybody 2-0 you, because that puts you at a really big disadvantage. And like sometimes when you're playing those games and you get a 1-1, you feel like, dang, best of 3, I probably could have gotten this one back, because you start to see the opponent's play style a little bit too. Some people don't respect certain cards, you know, and you can kind of catch them on that by game 3. However, I did like that the tournament ended by like 10 p.m. on day 1, which is, you know, very nice to see, because if you add an extra game to each round, we probably would have been there till like midnight. And huge shout out to Frank Nicola, new Lorcana Goons team member, for also making top cut. He lost in top 64, but we had 2 out of 3 of the Team Goons members in that top cut. So you know we're doing something right. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are a Lorcana Goon, and join our Discord as well. So many people were worried about going second, going first, these extra tiebreakers and whatnot. And all I kept telling myself was, I need to 2-0 my opponents. I need to win both games. Like, you know, how do I win both games? Not how do I get into top cut? How do I squeeze my way into top 148 to get a let it go? You know, how do I snag some cheesy draws, and how do I play into time? No. My entire mentality is, and always will be, how do I win? How do I win this match? That is what I think when I'm playing card game tournaments. How do I win this match? And you don't gotta take this as advice, you know, but if you do wanna play these card games, that is the mentality I have, and that's the mentality I've had when playing these card games. And I'm super glad that, you know, it has been able to carry me to this achievement, because it's just the beginning, you know, it's not the end. And, you know, I do wanna once again say thank you to all the Lorcana Goons for, you know, for supporting along the way, especially because I've been trying to do this for such a long time. A YouTube channel, you know, have a prestigious event top or victory soon, you know, and all these things are, you know, coming into fruition. Is that the right word? They're coming to life. You know, these dreams that I've had in my younger days, they're coming to life now that I have the opportunity and the ability to not only do them, but constantly keep trying. And it's true what they say, try and try and try, and eventually you will succeed. What's that other saying? Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land somewhere among the stars. So shoot for that golden Mickey. Shoot for first place at your local tournament, you know, if that's something you want to do. And, you know, you'll end up in it, and you'll end up amongst the stars. You'll end up in that top cut, you know, and I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying until I get, you know, my first place championship. But, you know, top 16, we did get our invite to Continental, so you will see me at Nationals. But until then, remember to stay tuned to Lorcana Goons, and we'll see you Goons next time. All right, Lorcana Goons, look who finally showed up. There we go, there we go, finally showed up. And now the best part. We have a little bit of a problem in the Goons clubhouse. We have one bedroom by itself, right? And then we have another bedroom here, also by itself. But we got 5 people. And in this bedroom has 3 beds. We got too many people, so we're basically gonna play it out. We're gonna play a little home tournament, and the person with the best record gets the first pick at their room, and then so on and so forth. So ideally, I want to have the best record so I can have my own room in this trip, right? And then the Quest kids, me and Zach are gonna have the room, and the Quest kids are gonna all share their bedroom right there. So.
I mean, you would never say.
Quick update. So I have 202 people in this room. So I'm taking a little break. They're playing it out. Zach, what's your record?
I have
10 points. We're only doing game two game format. John, what's your record?
I'm undefeated.
Ah, what the heck? Okay.
I'm okay.
Steven, what's your record?
I'm okay.
There you go. Steven, what's your record?
It's
It's okay. We don't gotta talk about it. Mike, what's your record? Person with the best record gets the big room with the big bed and the personal bathroom, which is gonna be me. And then the next person gets the other bedroom personally for them. And then it's looking like the Quest kids are gonna have to share a room together. Sure. All right, so after everyone playing each other, I got 2-0'd by Zach. I 2-0'd 2 people. Zach basically had the best record, so he gets the biggest bed. Me and Mike have the tied record. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Mike with his Quest kid sleeves, his cards. So these are rock paper scissors cards.
I don't know what these are. I haven't looked yet. So.
Okay, yeah. So we had Mike had his teammate pick, and I had my teammate pick. So on the count of 3, we're gonna see who's getting the room and who's not gonna get their own room. Okay. Count of 3. Put it right here. Put it right here, please. Put it right here. All right. Rock paper scissors. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh my God!
Oh, you're good.
Oh no! Get out of here! Okay, one more time. The teammates gotta pick. I don't know what's being shuffled, bro. I don't know what's being shuffled. This is scary. All right. Everyone gets their own room. All right. Give me the camera back. All right, Zach, you pick. Pick Zach. Pick one. Let's go, buddy. Come on, Team Goons, man. Come on, Team Goons.
He did all that just to lose.
Let's for him to shuffle again.
Bro, there you go. He's gonna pick. All right, John, you got. All right, there you go. Okay. 1, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah, we got it! Team Goons in the house. Get out of here. You know that was cool though, Mike. You know that was clean. Oh man.
Stay there from.
So we just filmed the market watch. It's Friday. We're all gonna head down to the venue now to get our badges. That's right. We got the Quest kids right here.
Were you guys ready? We're about to be at the first ever Atlanta challenge. You know, as much ignorance is going to be going on here, I can't wait to tone it down and really just kind of like be my most professional self. Yeah. Because there's the OG. And then
I like mine. It was funny.
You should have came.
All right, so I didn't know that there was an event called MomoCon happening, the same convention as the Lorcana Challenge. So it's hype. It's lit out here. Look, Mike.
It's really tight out here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yup. Ooh, like I got a Luffy shirt on. Yup. Oop. We got some Demon Slayer. We got some Akatsuki peeps. We got Ace. Oh, Jinbei. That's cool. That's fire. That's dope. We got the Jinbei right there. I like your Prince Zuko costume. And we finally got here. Info point. Alright guys, real quick, for a free pack, what's your favorite Disney Lorcana character?
Oh, for sure, the new Phil.
The new Phil? What's your favorite?
What's yours?
Probably the Sisu. I like the Sisu.
Which
Alright.
Sisu?
Probably the one that clears the
The big shifter.
The one that I hate.
That's right guys, go ahead.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
guys want
For the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, this is great.
Yeah, dude.
I knew I brought some stuff, I knew it.
That's good.
Alright, see them pools, bless the pools.
I'm getting there.
All right, let me put this in my pocket. Oh, do you want to see the enchanted first or second?
We'll do it live, yeah. Okay, go to the bottom.
All right, let's see.
We can build up.
Louisa.
Come on, Mickey.
Song. Okay.
Getting close.
I like that rare.
That's a good one.
Okay.
And-
Card.
There's
Hey, so we're
Do you want me to
Yeah,
help
can you help
you?
me?
You're nervous under the camera? Take these, please.
No, the tough packs have the enchanted, that's what I learned too. You gotta make sure they stay pristine.
All right, there you go.
They're all tough, man.
All right,
I don't know what they do.
do your magic.
Alright. Casa Madrigal.
Here, you got it.
Put it in my pocket. Casa Madrigal. Make the potion. Winter Camp. A Stitch. The Raya. Mickey Mouse. Shifu. Khan. Dig a little deeper. Isabel.
Madrigal. Lumineer. Good rare.
And a Dolores.
Alright, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we get a selfie with this?
Oh yeah.
He was Ashley.
This is the competitors line. We're gonna sign up to compete now. Look at all these Illumineers. Got the Forbidden Mountain here, the team, Forbidden Mountain team, clearly. Oh, heck yeah. We're here with the Forbidden Mountain.
Oh, we're recording it?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
That, we're just gonna keep going.
Just
live.
vlogging, yep.
We're living life.
Yep. Candid, right in the moment. So
How was the travel?
It was awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for asking. Yeah, 4 hours of flying, and I'm scared. So you just try to fall asleep the whole way. What about you guys? How do you guys liking the weekend so far?
It's good. 2-hour trip was fine.
Okay, you guys drove?
He drove.
I drove. I've been here a couple days.
Okay.
He flew. He's smarter than me.
I just flew.
So yeah.
All right, and what are you looking forward to the most this weekend? Are you guys gonna play side events, main events? What are you guys planning on doing?
I gotta be excited for the main event, right?
Yeah.
First one ever. Gotta be here. Gotta represent. Gotta play. 1900 people. I don't know the numbers. It was like 1880 last time I saw it. Maybe we're hitting there. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be fun.
More than 1,000 people. Yeah, I'm super excited. Well, good luck in the event. Really appreciate you guys.
Good seeing you.
Yeah. Somehow ended up at the coolest con that I've been to. While we're trying to get to the Lorcana section. Oh look, Lorcana challenge down. There you go. Look at the Lilo and Moana.
It's a trading card. Dang, you're right. They are advertising that game.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
advertising.
smart.
Super smart. Here we are, the registration, guys. So we actually got a full house now. Check it out. We're running ourselves a little home tournament. We got 10 goons for the Atlanta Lorcana Goons tournament. That's right. How much we got in the prize pool? What's the total prize pool, Zach?
There's some money involved.
200? 200. All right. Some light, so we can play test for tomorrow. Oh yeah, 1K. We're gonna report it. I'll make a video. All right. So after a whopping 3 rounds, Impact. What are the results?
Well, we got 4 people that got 10 points. So we got to roll to see who actually finna go. We got to roll and figure this out.
So top 4. Who got the most points? Frank, right? So Frank, shout out Frank Nicola. Can we get a round of applause? First is it. Hey. Yeah.
Me and him are the champions so far.
Second was me. Then we have 4 people with 10 points. So you, Kev, Steven, and Impact. All right, let's run it.
Are we gonna roll it? We're gonna roll it. Oh yeah. So yeah.
Some street stuff right here.
What is that? Man, ain't even roll. What is it? 5?
It's a 6.
That's a 6.
6 or 9? What is it?
That is a 9.
Okay, he's the judge. That's a 9.
That's a 9. Look, there's a line at the bottom. There's a line at the bottom. Yeah, you can see the line at the bottom. That's a 9. I'll show you the 6. I'll show you the 6. Alright, so I got 9.
Impact got a 9.
I rolled 6. It's better than 5. Y'all better roll this bit hard.
Alright, so 2 of us that roll the highest are gonna get the top cut.
9. Yo.
That one roll. Ah, get out of here. 4. What is it? 4!
This is always happening.
Come on, get the one.
6. 6? 6? Let's go. Wait, is it a 6?
6 or 9?
6 or 9.
I mean, does it matter?
Either way, it's you two, not us. Either way, it's you two.
This dice don't roll.
Check the standings. Okay, that's it. The first ever Goon Kids, you feel me? House tourney.
Yeah, good.
Before ATL, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah, we all put in money for the pot. You know, it's a community tournament.
All right.
They're all gonna split the top cut.
Everybody, you can either pick someone to Zell or y'all can Zell me and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Wait, let's take a picture, Frank. Take a picture. Oh, take a picture. Like, yeah,
House pick, real quick.
$10. I'm short, feel me? So I'm just recording. I'm just gonna take a screenshot.
Yeah. Okay, everyone pose.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm cheering.
We're good. All right.
So after 2 days of playing the first ever
Disney Lorcana Championship. I managed to make top 16 and lose in top 16, so no Mickey acquired, but we did secure an invite to nationals, and we lost to the person who got first place, so shout out Joshua. He was playing yellow purple, and I was playing ruby amethyst, and I didn't get to record much of the vlog because getting in top, just all my focus went into there. But yeah, I'll talk about it more, and thanks for everyone who supported, and I need to take a nap because I gotta fly back, and I am tired of playing card games.